the canon that he was talking about was not a disciplinary canon. Canon 6 to Nicaea is not a disciplinary canon. What are you talking about?
Wait, okay, so what is that canon about? Is it about faith and morals? Like
the canon is about the jurisdiction in which a bishop would have, based off of the reason.
Okay, and that's disciplinary.
That's not discipline. What are you talking about? That's not disciplinary.
Dude, disciplinary is when you're telling people how to do something, right?
Disciplinary is an ordinance in which someone has to do something or else they are reprimanded in that manner. For instance,
thank you for saying what I just said.
For instance, if a bishop fornicates, they are to be deposed. If a bishop prays with a heterodox or whatever, they are to be defrocked. All of that. These are disciplinary matters. Ordinance on stating that Constantinople is supposed to have be the new Rome and be equal with old Rome because of the because now the imperial capital imperial city is now in Byzantium, and Canon 6 talking about bishops having jurisdiction. Alexandria, Libya, Egypt are under the under the patriarch of Alexandria, right? These are not disciplinary actions. What are you talking about?
Okay, so you're telling me that Canon 6 has to do with faith and morals. Is that what you're telling me?
Pope Leo's objection to Canon 28 was a moral objection, is what I'm saying. Because he felt is that it was diminishing, because he felt is that it was contradicting Canon 6, diminishing what was going on in Canon 6. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, are you telling me that he was... Oh my God. Are you telling me he erred on faith and morals because he disagreed with the canon?
No, I'm saying that if you're saying another pope accepted Canon 28, then that means that Pope Leo was either wrong, or this pope that this pope that you said accepted Canon 28 will be wrong. Either way, one of the popes is making a mistake. If one of the popes if one pope rejected and the other pope didn't reject it, then one of the popes is making a mistake. Simple as that.
It's not a mistake. All it is that Pope Hornisdas agreed with the canon, and Pope Leo disagreed with the canon.
The crux is why they disagreed.
Their own opinion, right?
Yeah, the crux is why they disagreed. And I'm saying that Pope Leo disagreed from a moral and faith standpoint.
Oh my God, man.
If he did disagree from a moral
his rejection or acceptance of Canon 28 has nothing to do with him erring on the faith. Like what?
Again, do you believe that Pope Leo's objection to Canon 28 had anything to do with a moral standpoint of it diminishing the ancient seas, contradicting Canon 6?
Yeah, okay. Right.
Okay, so since it's a moral standpoint, then he made that decision, tried to bind it onto all of at least the Western Church from a faith and moral standpoint. Therefore, if another pope retcons that, either that pope that retconned it made a mistake in retconning it because Pope Leo wasn't wrong and didn't err,
Leo was wrong. Leo was wrong in it.
Or Pope Leo erred in that moral standpoint. Therefore, either way, you jeopardized their whole papacy act.
Wait. Can I say something?
No, you cannot.
I'll wait.
No, you cannot.
Wait, okay, if I say that Leo was wrong in rejecting Canon 28, so what?
But that was your whole... I just told you why. I just told you what that issue was. I told you what the issue was with that. You not remember what I said?
You told me that the issue is that would mean that he would have erred in faith and morals. Is that what you're saying?
His objection was from a moral standpoint, and if he was wrong on that, then he erred in a moral.
Okay, he erred. So what?
That's an error. That's an error in faith and morals. If his objection was from a faith and moral standpoint, that's an error in faith and morals. Like, what is up to?
Okay, is this an error? If it's an error on faith and morals regarding disciplinary issues, what would be the issue? Like what?
Again, can you substantiate how rejection of Canon 28 is a disciplinary thing and not a moral thing, a moral standpoint? Which
Okay. He was saying that it diminishes the status of the other seas. This is from the moral standpoint, and he viewed Canon 28 as immoral because it contradicted Canon 6 of Nicaea.
False faith and
Now,
morals.
what's the issue? What's the issue?
So then that's faith and morals.
Okay.
So
What's the issue?
So if he was wrong, because you cannot, Pope can't err on faith and morals, then that diminishes.
No, you forgot to add the qualifier. What's the qualifier? He can't err on faith and morals when what?
What are you talking about?
What's the qualifier? You forgot a qualifier.
Okay, can you just say it? What are you talking about?
He can't err on faith and morals when speaking ex cathedra. But if he's just disagreeing with something, then he can err. He's a normal human being. Like what?
Okay, so is ex cathedra, is everything orthodoxy ex cathedra?
Yes.
Okay.
He can't err on that.
Okay. Did Pope Leo believe what he said was orthodoxy?
Did he believe what he said was true?
Was
What?
orthodox?
Is that what you're asking?
Okay, I'm gonna say it slower. Just agreed.
Okay.
Everything ex cathedra is orthodoxy. Everything that's orthodox is ex cathedra. Did Pope Leo believe when he rejected Canon 28 that what he was doing
I mean, he thought he was on the right. He thought he was on the right. Sure.
Okay, so therefore,
Hey, real quick, Dom. Y'all do not mute anybody in the comments. Don't mute anybody. Like, dudes can type in the comments, bro. Like here, unless they're saying blasphemous things, like they can type in the comments.
yeah. So anyway, so
Yeah, and by the way, I think look, I'm gonna tell you why you're equivocating, because we say that when the Pope is speaking ex cathedra on matters of doctrine, that's when he can't err. But this isn't a matter of doctrine, is it?
you just said earlier that it's faith and morals. That's what you said.
Yes. Yeah. He can't err. He can't err on matters of doctrine when he's speaking on.
So are you changing your position now?
No. I'm not changing my position.
You just said earlier that it's faith and morals is what he can't err on. That's what you just said.
He can't err on faith and morals when he's speaking ex cathedra on matters of doctrine. And when he's defining something, he has to be defining something. And when he rejected Canon 28 in letter 104, letter 105, letter 106, he wasn't defining anything. He was just stating his own opinion. Now, can we go to section 10 of Chalcedon, and I can show you how he was exercising universal and immediate jurisdiction. Can I show you?
Wait. So wait a minute. If you're saying
let's go to section 10 of Chalcedon.
Relax, brother.
So I just want to go to section 10 of Chalcedon. That's what I want to do.
Hey, hold on. If it's about doctrine, right?
What? No, dude. Not all canons are necessarily about doctrinal disputes.
Can I finish? Or are you gonna keep spazzing out like you have no self-control?
Go ahead.
Goodness gracious. So if you're saying that his rejection of Canon 28 is not on doctrine, okay, do you think that Constantinople being called New Rome doesn't have any type of doctrinal basis?
No, I don't think so. Okay. It's only called the New Rome because it's the new imperial city. GG's, man.
Is Rome the apostolic see based off of any doctrinal basis?
Well, it's the apostolic see because it was founded by an apostle.
So yes or no?
It was founded by an apostle. I don't see how that has anything.
Bot mode. What I'm asking you is there any doctrinal basis on Rome being the apostolic see? Yes or no?
What do you mean by that? I don't know what you mean. Is there any doctrinal basis?
Now he don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you mean. I'm asking you to elaborate.
Does Rome, the quote unquote primacy that it has, right?
Okay. Yes,
is that based off of a doctrinal basis? Okay. Therefore, if Constantinople is trying to be considered New Rome in likeness,
it's called the New Rome because it's the new imperial city, man.
What is wrong with this dude?
Like what?
What is wrong with this man? What is wrong with this guy? Are you done?
Okay, go ahead.
So, Canon 28
Yes.
is asserting Constantinople to be the new Rome of equal authority with the old Rome. Therefore, if the old Rome's establishment and jurisdiction is based off of a doctrinal basis, so too is the Constantinopolitan New Rome establishment. Because even if you count it as being an imperial city is where the emperor, and based off of other canons and other fathers, that the emperor is designated by God. There's still doctrinal basis. So again, if Pope Leo is rejecting these things, it still holds to some type of doctrinal basis, still doctrine of some manner. I've said before. So if he's wrong on that, then he's wrong. He's erred in these manners. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I don't get your point. Saint Leo's rejection of Canon 20 had nothing to do with doctrinal presuppositions. Like what?
This is bot mode at this point.
It just had to do. It just had to do with him. With him taking Canon 6 to high regard. Now, can we go to session 10 of Chalcedon, please?
This is
Can we
bot
go to
mode.
session 10?
All he said was nuh-uh, and then
Yeah, can we go? Can we go to session 10 of Chalcedon?
bro, I don't have an issue with session 10 of Chalcedon, bro.
No, you will have an issue when I present the argument. Trust me.
Bro, go ahead, go to session 10 of Chalcedon. Bro.
Okay, let's go to session 10.
It doesn't hurt anything that I'm just gonna keep asserting my point of everything.
Wait, before you guys move on, Basil, if people start spamming in the comments like they don't have any common sense, can I mute them?
Nah, keep it. Just keep the comments going. It's not that deep.
Okay.
I mean, there's 80
Okay,
people in the live. There's probably going to be a lot of comments.
Okay, Don, are you aware of the Council of Ephesus 2?
Ephesus 2?
Yeah, the one that was it wasn't it was annulled at the Council of Chalcedon.
Oh, the Robert Council? Yeah.
The Robert Council, right? So, at the Council of Ephesus 2, there was a bishop named Donus of Antioch, and he was actually deposed at that synod by Dioscorus, and somebody called Maximus of Antioch was appointed in his place. Somebody called Maximus of Antioch was appointed in this place. This is going to be very important in a minute. So, since the Council of Ephesus 2 was being overturned at the Council of Chalcedon, then it would naturally follow that Maximus wouldn't be a valid patriarch because he was ordained in a council that was no longer valid, right? That was no longer valid, right? Different one. It's a different one.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Wait, say that. Are you asking me the patriarch that was ordained in Ephesus 2 no longer be a patriarch because he was ordained in the Robert Council?
Yes.
Not necessarily.
Okay, how is it not necessarily?
Because if there is a different council that restores him or exonerates him, that validates his restoration, then it's not an issue. The same thing happens with Photius.
Yeah, but the thing is that the Orthodox patriarch, well, they were both Orthodox at the end of the day in Chalcedon, but the Orthodox patriarch Donus of Antioch was wrongfully deposed at the Council of Ephesus 2. So, if the Council of Ephesus 2 is being overturned, then that deposition was going to be overturned, right?
If the what?
His deposition, because Donus of Antioch, the bishop before Maximus, was the bishop of Antioch.
I just told you somebody was excommunicated or wrongly deposed, and then the third, and there's another council that exonerates those ones that were.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the council.
We can say the things about times. right? But
Yeah,
there are other things that exonerate him. Like, what are you trying to like? So what? How does this now mean that there's now papal supremacy over all of the whole church? Like
bro,
what?
you're going too fast. We're not even there yet. So, yeah, like I said, if Donus of Antioch was wrongfully deposed, and the decisions of Ephesus 2, where he was deposed, was being overturned, then it would naturally follow that his deposition was going to be overturned as well, because it was a decision made in the synod that was going to be overturned, right?
If you're just asking me the same question over and over again of whether somebody can be deposed in one council and then exonerated in a different council, yes, I agree with that.
So you agree that Donus of Antioch's deposition wasn't going to be valid, right? His deposition, and Maximus was going to be deposed, right?
If it was overturned in a different council with the whole with the pentateuchy or the patriarchates of the other dioceses, then I'm not gonna have an issue with that. Don't ask me the same question again. Like
Okay.
what?
Okay. So
This time
yeah.
asking the same question.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Maximus of Antioch was going to be deposed at Chalcedon because he was wrongfully ordained. Now let's see why he ended up still being the bishop of Antioch, even though the Acts of Ephesus 2, where he was ordained, were overturned. Let's see what it says. This is the Council of Chalcedon by Father Richard Price, Volume 2, page 303. It says a council where those lawless crimes were read out cannot be approved, and for this reason it is clearly pointless to read out the proceedings there. If all the proceedings there have been made null by the most blessed and apostolic bishop of the city of Rome, it is manifest that the most holy bishop of the church of Antioch is exempt from them. So the bishop of Antioch is not gonna, his ordination is not gonna be overturned because it is exempt from the annulment. It is exempt from the annulment that just occurred. Now let's see why it was exempt. It is manifest that the most holy bishop of the church of Antioch is exempt from them, since the most blessed bishop subsequently receives them into his own communion. So it's saying the only reason he is still a valid bishop is because the Pope of Old Rome received him into communion. And look what it says. It doesn't just stop there. We go to the next page. We go to Saint Anatolius. I therefore declare that none of the proceedings of that so-called council are to have force, except those regarding the most sacred Bishop Maximus at the very great see of Antioch. Since even the most holy Bishop of Rome, received him into communion and pronounced that he should govern the church of Antioch. He should govern the church of Antioch. So what are we seeing here in session 10? We're seeing Pope Saint Leo determining who should govern the church in Antioch. How does that fit?
Are you done?
Yes, I'm done. How does that fit in your ecclesiology?
Yeah, so I'm gonna restate. No problem. I'll tell you right now. I'm gonna say the exact same thing I did at the very beginning, because all I have to do is show someone doing something in usurpation of Pope Leo or the Pope, which
How
is
does that answer anything? How does that?
So again, I'm answering you right now. Try to calm down. Try to relax. I know stuff. We let you do your whole little soliloquy. Relax. Okay. Again, all I have to do, I can agree. Cool. Pope Leo accepted another bishop to receive to himself, and then they accepted it. He got me.
No. You're simplest. You're always You're oversimplifying things.
No,
Why are you doing
no.
this?
I don't want to have to, abuse my mind powers. I let you speak. Did I interrupt you at all when you were talking? Answer that question. Did I interrupt you at all when you were talking?
No, you didn't, sir.
Okay, so can you show me the same respect? Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So anyway, if your whole argumentation is that, oh look, Pope Leo was seen as somebody that could ordinate or give an order for a patriarch to be over in the east, and this, not the third, that somehow means he has universal jurisdiction over the entire church. Well, if that's the hill that you're gonna stand on, okay. Why then? This is now what you have to explain, which you still haven't explained from the jump. If that's the case, why then do we see individuals like the emperor, ratifying and codifying things that even Pope Leo himself, who's supposed to have this quote unquote universal jurisdiction, implementing it into the empirical law of the whole empire? That means that that Justinian, at least himself, did not see Pope Leo as this completely universal head over everything, including himself. Quite literally. So that's my polemic that you haven't dealt with yet. All you're doing is showing instances where people respected Pope Leo's position as Bishop of Rome. And as Bishop of Rome being
it was more than respect.
as Bishop of Rome being the first among equals and a title of primacy and an honorific primacy. Nobody disagrees with that at all whatsoever. The assertion where it breaks this imagery is that he has this absolute power that nobody dare go against. Like, what, brother? Sir, Justinian takes some of the things that he rejects and makes it imperial law that's supposed to be binding over all of Ecclesia, and it was emphatically binding, especially in the East, 100%. Can you please deal with that? Everything else you bring me is just going to be showing me that people took Pope Leo to be that guy. Awesome. Pope Leo is that guy. He's a saint in our church. The issue is, it's not what you're asserting as far as Vatican I is talking about being the head universal bishop over all of the ecclesia. That's the whole point that I'm talking about.
Okay, you didn't answer. You didn't answer you didn't answer what I brought to you. I showed you Saint Leo exercising universal and immediate jurisdiction when it came to determine who should govern the Church of Antioch. And you're saying,
universal?
What? Because he's in the West.
How is that universal?
He's in the West. He's in the West, and he's determining who should govern the church in the East.
Yeah, how is that universal, though?
What do you mean, how is that universal?
It's really not a hard question. Cool. He tried to determine what was being brought up in the East. That's fine.
He did. Oh my goodness.
That's fine. He can do that. They respected that. They respected that decision that he made.
He can't do that in your paradigm.
Bro, what's wrong with this dude? Is he not tracking what I'm saying?
He can't do that in your paradigm.
Is he not tracking what I'm saying?
Dude, you just said it's okay for him to try and do that, and he didn't try and do that. He succeeded. And what does it say? What does it say? Saint Anatolius, the bishop, said,
Yeah. Do you think they could have rejected? Let me ask you.
One second. Yeah, 1 second. Saint Anatolius of Constantinople said that the late proceedings at Ephesus were instantly overturned. Instantly overturned by who? Not the council. No, by Pope Saint Leo.
Wait, do you think they could have rejected?
Wait, 1 second. 1 second. It was instantly overturned by Pope Saint Leo. Okay. The Bishop of Constantinople is asserting that the Bishop of Rome has authority of the synod in order to annul the synod. Now let me keep on reading. Do you think they could have rejected it? Let me keep on reading. The late proceedings at Ephesus were instantly overturned, especially from the time when after this they received a correction that was very fine and pleasing to God. I therefore declare that none of the proceedings of that so-called council are to have any force, except those regarding the most sacred bishop at very great Antioch, since even the most holy bishop of Rome received him into communion and pronounced that he should govern the church of Antioch. You can't tell me that as an Eastern Orthodox, you accept the Pope dictating who should be governing the churches in the East. That is universal and immediate jurisdiction. You
Okay,
can't
you done?
accept that.
Let me know you're done. Can I speak now?
You're just gonna say let me know when you're done, and you're not gonna answer anything. That's what
You
you're
didn't
gonna
ask me a question. You said how does that work in my paradigm? I just told you how it works in my paradigm. So
do.
again,
Okay.
so again, from an ecclesiastical standpoint, the only polemic that I'm presenting to you, is that this quote unquote binding universal jurisdiction that you're asserting is getting usurped in history. So it can't be as solid as you're talking about. Because again, Justinian, quite literally.
What does Canon 28 has to do with anything?
Because Pope Leo.
Canon 28 has got to do with nothing.
Yes, it does. Here's why. Because just like you were trying to assert that Pope Leo's articulation on who should be this and what should be done, right? If with the patriarch and whatnot was immediately adhered to, right? That same type of jurisdiction, that same type of power was associated and asserted with the rejection of Canon 28. However, Canon 28. However, Justinian did not adhere to that. He codified all of the canons of the first four councils, including Canon 28. So therefore, if the Pope or the position of the Pope had this particular primacy, as if you in the manner or the caliber, because I'm not saying that the Pope didn't have any type of honorifics or any type of primacy at all whatsoever, but in the manner in which you've been articulating, then this would not happen. This would have been an actual issue. But it wasn't.
So you're saying that since he went against Leo, Canon 28, then that means he didn't think the Pope had universal jurisdiction, right?
Not over him.
Dude, I'm talking about the bishops of the East. I'm not talking about the emperor.
Is the emperor part of the church?
He's not a bishop, is he?
Is he a part of the church?
I'm talking about the bishops. I'm not talking about the laymen.
Is the emperor a part of the church?
Not the same way the bishops are a part of the church. No.
That's not what I asked. Is the emperor part of the church? Yes or no?
Dude, no, he isn't.
No, the emperor's not a part of the church.
He doesn't have any ecclesiastical authority.
Hey, yo, that's crazy. So, okay, got you. So the emperor's not a part of the church, guys.
He doesn't have any ecclesiastical authority.
If the emperor's not a part of the church, brother, I don't know what else to tell you, dog. If the emperor's not part of the church,
bishop.
I didn't say he was. I didn't say he was a bishop. Stop.
Okay, if you're saying,
is he a part of the church?
Okay,
yes or no?
As a layman, sure.
Okay, it's the Pope, the head of those who are over the church.
He's the head of the priests.
Is he head of the? Oh my God! What's wrong? Like, are you a Muslim? Are you a oneness? Well, you can't answer.
Why are you bringing Layman?
Because
why are you bringing Layman into this? He's not gonna go to the East and excommunicate a layman, is he? So why are you bringing Layman into this?
The Pope is supposed to be the head over all of the ecclesia. All of the ecclesia. Is the emperor a part of the ecclesia? Yes or no, bro?
Oh my goodness, man. Sure.
Okay. Therefore, the Pope is his head. Is he not? That's under your paradigm?
Oh my God, man. Bro.
Go ahead.
Good.
Please hope some more.
Sure.
Cool. So, therefore, when Justinian does not respect the quote-unquote authority or quote-unquote decision he had of his quote-unquote head, clearly Justinian did not believe or think that the quote-unquote head that you are asserting had this type of authority in which you are purporting that he is the universal head and primacy over all of the church, in which we have to respect every single decision that he says and makes, even when it comes to ecclesiastical canon articulation.
Yeah, when I'm talking about
Justinian clearly held, bro. Justinian clearly held the ecclesiastical articulation through the canons higher than what the Pope's opinion is.
Okay, 1 second. When I'm talking about him having
Hey,
jurisdiction, yeah,
real
what?
quickly pause. I want to keep this completely fair. Let's chill out on the muting.
Yeah.
Chill on the
So when
muting,
I'm
and
talking,
I'll moderate more.
okay. So when I'm talking about the Bishop of Rome having jurisdiction over the East, I'm not talking about the laymen. We can forget the laymen. I'm just talking about the bishops in general. I'm talking
So the Pope
about the
doesn't.
Pope. I'm talking about the Pope having jurisdiction over the bishops in the East. And what does Justinian say in his letter to Pope John? He said, I am going to subject all of the Eastern region to you. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't. Again, you're
What
not.
do you mean that's fine? It's not
You're not
fine.
addressing my.
That is not fine.
The fact that he
So
can
you're
do
telling
that,
me,
bro. The fact that
wait, so
Justinian
you're
can
telling
do
me
that.
that Justinian can say that he's going to subject all
The
the
fact.
priests to the Pope,
The
and you're
fact
telling me
that
that's orthodox? Come on.
because you're quite literally not understanding what you're saying. You're calling Justinian just a layman at first. First, he's just a layman, but he has the power.
Yeah.
But he has the power and authority to subject priests and bishops under another bishop, right? So he's clearly not just a layman. He's not some
But, hey,
just layman, bro. My point is that since
but,
since he
hey,
has
but if
the
you,
power,
dude,
bro,
bro, Don, if
bro,
you knew what
I
was
can't
going
talk to
on.
you. I can't talk to you if you keep interrupting me.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let Dom finish out his point, and then answer Dom's question, and then Dom can respond off of that. And then what's it called? We'll see where we go after that. But I'll keep this
Do you
moderated
want to
so
put
both of you
timers
can
on
get
now?
your arguments out. No, let's
Basil,
not do
do you?
timers. There's no point to do that. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, finish asking your question, Dom, and then Jay answer his question, and then we'll go off of that.
Yeah. So again, my only polemic is that if you're calling Justinian just some layman, right, that the Pope doesn't really have head over, but yet at the same time you're saying Justinian has the power to subject bishops and priests under a Pope and whatnot, he clearly can't be just a layman. And since he's not just a layman, Justinian, still codifies something that the Pope rejected. So what I'm saying is you can't have your cake and eat it too. You have to deal with the fact of why he still codified what the Pope rejected. You giving more examples of Justinian saying the Pope is that guy. Cool. That's fine. Why does he still reject, or why does he still codify what the Pope rejected, not respecting his quote unquote authority to assert that the Pope has? That's the point that I'm trying to ask you.
Okay, so to answer your first question, how does he have the authority to subject all the Eastern bishops to Rome?
That wasn't a question.
If you knew how Justinian worked, you know damn well he didn't play no damn games. He didn't play no damn games.
Wasn't my question.
When he went to the bishops and asked them to sign a document, it was either yes or yes. They didn't have a choice. It was yes or yes. It was yes or yes, bruh.
Wow.
So I don't know why you're telling me. I don't know why you're telling me. I don't know why you're telling me. How can he have the ability to subject them?
That wasn't my question. That wasn't my question.
That was the first question.
That wasn't my question. No, I only asked one question. I didn't ask two questions. I only asked one.
Yes, you did. Oh my. Okay.
I asked one question. I did not ask two. I asked one question. My question was, I'll repeat it for you. Why is Justinian? Because you just said when Justinian came, his answer was yes or yes. It said a yes or yes when he came. Cool.
He ain't playing no games.
Cool.
He ain't playing no games.
Cool. Since he wasn't playing no games, and his demands were yes or yes, when he codifies something a Pope rejects, then quite literally, the Pope can't have the power you think he does in the eyes of Justinian. That's the whole point. Because though Pope Leo rejected Canon 28, when Justinian comes and he says, "Nah, we finna codify and ratify Canon 28," bump what you talking about, Leo. Did Leo say, "Oh no, I'm the Pope, I have supreme authority over all of the universal"? Or did he say, "All right, whatever, ain't nothing I can do about it for real"? Because he couldn't do anything about it for real. Because he doesn't have the legator power as you're asserting them to have. That's my whole point.
Let me read you a quote by Pope Saint Felix III. Of a certainty, it redounds to the prosperity of your affairs if, when the matter in hand concerns the things of God, you exert yourself according to His commandment to submit your imperial will
Hold
to the
on, hold
bishops
on.
of Christ.
I'm gonna interject real quick.
Okay.
Like Jay, respectfully, this is not answering the question.
No,
You're just
no,
going
no,
to
no.
hold
One
on, wait,
second.
wait,
No,
hold on,
I'm getting to the point. I'm getting to the point.
wait. Because the thing is you're going to a quote to try to prove, like, say something that's not even the argument right now. The argument is
One second.
about
No, I'm
what the
answering his argument. I'm answering his argument.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, let me go to Pope Saint Felix III, who we both venerate in the Eastern Orthodox Church and the Catholic Church. He says, of a certainty, it redounds to the prosperity of your affairs if, when the matter in hand concerns the things of God, you exert yourself according to His commandment to submit your imperial will to the bishops of Christ and not to assume leadership, to learn sacred matters from those who are set over them, not to teach them, to follow the prescriptions of the church and not to prescribe to it, not to prescribe to it laws to be followed after the fashion of man, nor to tyrannize over its ordinances, since it is in very deed God's will that you should bow yourselves in humble obedience. So here we have an establishment that the emperor is not to get involved in ecclesiastical matters, because ecclesiastical matters are the things of God that he has handed down to the bishops. So if you're still showing me Emperor Saint Justinian doing the complete contrary to what the Church Fathers has legislated, then your Saint Justinian was abusing his power. That's all you're showing me, Don. You're not proving anything.
Did the church adhere to his articulation?
They had no choice.
So yes.
They were gonna die, bruh. They were gonna die.
Do you think that saints are afraid of death or something? Like what? Like so what? Okay, cool. They're gonna die. If the emperor is telling you to do something against the church, you're gonna listen to the emperor over the church? Like what? What are you talking about?
Dude, that has nothing to do with the point. I just showed you.
No, that has everything to do with the point. No, it has everything to do. It has everything to do with the point, because if your cop out is, well, if they didn't, they was gonna die, as if that ever stopped them before. Instead of ever stopped the fathers, did that stop Polycarp from dying because he didn't want to submit to the emperor at that time? Like, did that stop Irenaeus? Did it stop any of the people from dying because they didn't want to submit to the emperor, and the emperor is telling them to do something against the church? So what are you talking about? So again, when Justinian, who's a saint, says in his novella 131 that the Archbishop of Constantinople knew Rome, right? He's elevated despite the rejection of the popes, or the pope's articulation of that shouldn't happen. He has implemented that to be the case. He has codified those laws when he says it. So again, my only polemic, you can keep running away from the argument that I'm presenting, showing other manners in which the Pope is being big upped and whatnot. The fact that he's quite literally still doing something that is going against what a Pope said to not do, then you undercut your whole quote unquote authority thing that you're talking about. Just because you try to build it up more doesn't address the undercutting that I've been presenting to you.
I just told you that the saints of the church clearly tell us to be involved in ecclesiastical matters.
And then Justinian does it.
Yes, then he's wrong.
Okay, was he disciplined? Did the church enact any type of disciplinary action toward Justinian?
What the hell could they he do to Justinian? Are you
Do you
dumb?
think? Do you think? And not, so wait a minute. Do you think that a pope or a bishop or any clergy is not able to anathematize a king or an emperor?
Come on, bro. You think any
No,
damn
I'm
nigga is
asking you.
gonna anathematize Justinian, bro? Come on, bro.
Do you think that that's impossible? Do you think that they cannot? Do you think kings have not been anathematized before?
Dude! Oh my goodness, bro, did you see
Do
what
you
happened
think?
to...
Do you
Oh my
think that?
goodness, bro.
Do you think that that kings cannot be anathematized? Is what I'm
Yes,
asking.
they can, they can.
Okay. Was there any jurisdiction or act? Was there any disciplinary action sent toward Justinian for doing what he did?
Well, let me tell you a funny story, actually. When he implemented his codex, codex, I'm pretty sure the condemnations... Actually, no, I don't think it was in his codex, but basically, when he wrote when he wrote against the three chapters, he implemented it into the law, and he obliged everyone to sign the condemnation of the three chapters. And do you know what happened to the one guy that didn't? Pope Vigilius? His ass got beat! His ass got beat! So that's why I'm telling you
So,
that they ain't gonna do shit against Justinian, bro.
so no, they didn't enact any type of disciplinary action. Then? No, that's the answer to the question. Like your theatrics doesn't make you right. Like the answer is no. Now the church went against the entire. Hold
I'm
on,
telling you.
relax.
Okay.
Now the church, because if you're saying, well, even though the church put a bylaw that the emperor shouldn't do these things and can't be involved, the church just ignored their own bylaws because they were scared to get beat or whatever the hell you just said. So okay, cool. So if the church, according to you, under your worldview, the church quite literally usurped their own law that even the Pope had to adhere to. You're doing
No,
more undercutting. You're doing more undercutting to this quote unquote supremacy that you think that the Pope is having. The issue is that you think that I'm doing more than just coming against the papal primacy that you're holding on. You think that I'm also trying to like safeguard this and safeguard that. I'm only coming at your assertion about this papal primacy. That's it. And the notions of what that would mean. And I'm showing you how it doesn't follow with the events of history that happened. That's all I'm saying.
okay, you just
You
told
still
me
haven't
that.
addressed it.
Okay, you just told me that the bishops didn't go against Justinian's implementation of law.
And they
But
adhere to it.
I just told you what happened to the one nigga that did, bruh. What happened
Okay.
to him?
So again, if one person tries to go against it, right? Then you're saying, okay, that person got beat, and therefore you're saying Justinian put all the whole other church in check, right?
Yes, of course, of
cool.
course.
So, okay, cool. So, do you think that's a right thing to do? Do you think that? Let me ask you something. Look, this is genuine. Do you think, right? For instance, in the Bible, because I know, let's go to the actual scriptures, right? When the apostles were beat by the quote unquote superiors in position at that point in time, right? Did the fellow Christians, right, no longer preach Christ or no longer do what they're supposed to do as the church had commanded and Christ had commanded simply because they're going to face beating?
No.
So they can. Oh, so then the beatings didn't really affect the fact that they were still here. Hold on. The beatings didn't really affect the fact that they were to adhere
What
to
does that have to do with anything?
because
What does that have to do with anything?
if the church articulates to do something, then that takes jurisdiction over whatever is outside or whatever that's trying to come against that.
Okay, are you aware that Justinian was deposing anyone that disagreed with him?
Deposing. Oh, you don't want from the bishop standpoint?
Yeah, I'm talking about him deposing and exiling bishops that disagreed with him.
Yeah, and I'm saying that there was no anathema taken. Was there any anathema taken at all? for Justinian?
But ain't no nigga gonna anathematize Justinian, bro. Stop
First off,
asking me that.
I don't even know if you're allowed to say that. That's first and foremost.
Jay, let me drop you real quick and then come right back up. All right.
No, I'm saying just like culturally, I don't think he's allowed to say that. I'm not sure.
Dude, I don't understand what you're not understanding. I told you that people were legit scared of Justinian.
Yeah.
So of course they're gonna do anything that he tells them.
Okay. Again, I don't think you understand. What do you think my preliminary is?
Yo, what the heck? Yo, life is crazy.
What do you think that what do you think that I'm saying in response to that?
Yeah, your response is, oh, but do you think the people of Christ are gonna be scared about what the emperor says? Look at what the apostles did. They got beat. They still carried on preaching. I don't know why you're critiquing what happened to the apostles to the people of the 6th century.
Yeah.
What
here
standard are you?
you
What
misrepresented me.
standard are you using? What standard are you using to tell me that they're gonna do exactly what the apostles did? That doesn't make any sense.
The standard of all of the blood of the martyrs of the saints, like quite literally all of them, like all the martyrs that were martyred due to more than likely when they're standing in front of an emperor and for telling them to do something that goes against their church teaching. So if you're saying, well, the reason why they didn't listen to the church teaching is because the emperor told them not to. They're scared. Well, that's not an excuse, right? Like that. Why would that be an excuse?
What do you mean that's not an excuse?
Hey,
What?
Jason, I have to drop you because you've been flagged. So I'm gonna bring you up again.
Yeah, the reason why it's not an
Oh,
excuse.
he may have just got what's it called, banned.
He just keeps like
Jason, if you have another account, or let me see, I'm gonna up you again,
No,
but the flag still might go off. Do you have another account?
You might have to restart the live. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you have another account, Jay?
no, I don't.
Just restart the live.
Bro, if I get banned, I get banned. I'm cooking these
Is it
guys anyway, so it doesn't matter.
restart the live?
That's fine. Let's keep it going.
Oh, bro.
I mean, you
Look.
could just because you risking your account, Basil. You could just
Let's get my account.
yes,
Dude.
Yeah. Hey, we'll do a restart on the live. Everybody.
No, I'm not talking again. He already got cooked. It's good.
all right. So debate.
He already got cooked.
If you can say that, you still didn't address
You
any
already
arguments.
got cooked. It's all
Okay,
good,
that's
You
nice.
can say that. You just didn't address any arguments, but
That's nice, Jason. You guys are done with this argument, right? You're done.
apparently he is. He didn't address any of the arguments.
All right, I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna restart the stream anyway.